Hello again, this is Nishune, my male character. You can check on Nishunet, my female character, also. So he's having his favorite property in Hangman Avenue. It's got a swimming pool. It's a place to park your chopper, to land your chopper. Great view. I like this property the best. Let's have a look what he's got in the garage. So mostly rally cars. You recognize the original Sultan, which I find quite nice as well. The Benny's version is very nice, but this one is also very nice. Flash GT, definitely one of my favorite vehicles in this game. Really good handling, incredible nervosity. It's really a good car. Yeah, I like it. This one is LG Retro Custom, which I like very much. I mean, in reality, I would love to have a Skyline, but I don't know. It's a little bit heavy though. I like a smaller car, lighter car. This one is the Sentinel Classic. Nice car. Savestra. And of course the little Smart, which they call Punto or something like that, Panto. That is the special paint. It's actually chrome with orange pearlescent. This used to be a glitch really long time ago, which is no longer available, I think. But yeah, voilà, so this was my garage in Hangman Avenue. Let's go to Eclipse Tower, where he has a penthouse. Here is my oppressor, or rather his oppressor. Here is the Ruffian, which has been customized by a Rockstar. The rims are worn orange. If you change the rim, then the orange becomes the same as the tank, but I kept it the way it was, so these are the original rims. That's Michael's car, the Telegator. It looks good, I like this car. It's not very performant, but it's pretty cool. Here is another Rockstar special tint, special paint, the Felon GT convertible. So you see it's got a kind of satin tone to it. It's not matte, of course not metallic. It's a kind of satin tint, which I like very much. Not my favorite car, the Exemplar, but in its category I think it's the best. So for racing, just in case, I keep it. But it's too long for me, far too long. This one, yeah, I really like this one, the Shafter. There's another Rockstar special color, special tint for Franklin's car. Pretty buffalo. Okay, this is the Schwarze. I like the sound of the engine of the Schwarze. You recognize one of my favorite paint. An electric car, everybody's got to have one, so here is the Raiden. It looks good, I cannot say, it looks good, but bon, no engine sound, so for me that's no way. But bon, it's a game. Here is the, I keep forgetting, the Luxo, yeah, the Luxo. Well, not really a super performing car, but it's the special power that it has that makes it interesting. Right, so here is my Eclipse Tower garage. Let's go to Del Perro. And I went too far again. Why am I always doing that? Del Perro is here. So I call Del Perro my tiny garage. You're gonna see why I call it tiny. Voilà. This is the collection of the biggest vehicle in the game. That's why I call it the tiny garage. So a Sand King, different from my female character. Another Insurgent. This one is not armed. Here is the Vapid Contender. Good car. Huge though. I keep this one because it is, how do you call it? Same as the Land Mower and so on. So it's a very slow vehicle, but this one is the fastest of them, the Saddle. Utility, yeah, utilities. In the category of utilities, this is the fastest one, so just in case for race. This is a special vehicle, tinted, painted by Rockstar, the Granja. So you see again, we've got this satin look to it. so I kept it like that. This is the Bison, which in the van category is the fastest vehicle. It used to be, I don't know actually, maybe a van is faster these days. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty heavy though. What have we got on the other side? So we saw the Sand King, right? This is the Rompo Custom. Fun van to drive. The Dubstar 6x6. Not really impressive. I was expecting more from the 6 wheels, but no. What's the name of this one? Camacho. So again, too big for a dirt vehicle, for an off-road vehicle. Look at that. I mean, obviously that won't fit in the Moroccan tracks. And finally, a good car, this one, the Night Shark, fast, strong, good one. I still prefer the Kuruma, but this one is a good car. Voilà, that's my tiny garage. The car has disappeared. Let's go by foot. We are going to the office garage now. It's just next door. So my male character and my female character share a few properties, like Hangman Avenue, you saw, Del Perro, you saw, and they have also the same office because I simply find it to be the best. So let's try beginning with the supercar garage. The Shotaro. If you like Tron movie, that's it, that's good. What's this one? The Visione, yeah, good looking car, I like this one. Looks a bit like the Turismo R, but it's a bit bigger though. So I still prefer the Turismo R, but yeah, that's a beauty. Here is my Turismo R. So you see next to the Visione, it's a little bit smaller, so it handles a little bit better. But yeah, one of my favorite cars in the game, the Turismo R. What have we got here? Tempesta, good car too. Followed by, what's that? The Tesseract, of course. Weird windshield in the front, frankly. But one of the fastest supercar. With this one, the X80 Proto, which again for me has a strange windshield, it's too long, it's too big, it's really not my favorite driving. But yeah, they're good. It's like bikes, you know. You have a certain size that fits you, and once you find out which one, that's it. The rest simply doesn't fit. Well, I'm much more into Italy GTB, Turismo R. That's the size I like. Beautiful car, also this one. This one I like, the FMG. The look is pretty. It's a bit weird, but nice, but also too big. What's this one? XA21. Ah, yeah, I remember, yeah. It looks pretty, it looks efficient, but actually it's a bit disappointing when you race with it. It's a bit too slow. What's that? The Nero, yeah, the Nero Custom. Very beautiful, very great, very expensive, but too heavy for me. I like something more agile, something lighter. ETR1, same problem. Nice car, beautiful, powerful, but too heavy, too big and too heavy. Which one is that? Ah, the Autark. Okay, and this one, of course, the RE7B, which is convenient when we do stunt race and stuff like that. The back, it looks a bit weird to me already, but bon. Okay. Another Nero, this one is not the custom, it's the original one. Pretty much the first car I had in this game. I kept the look. I gave it originally, white and gold. Right, this one, Entity XF. Took me a while to get this one because I didn't really like the look of it. I found it too heavy as well. After a while I tried it again and yeah, actually it's not too bad. That's the same one, but the XXR, which really performs as good as the other. It looks a bit different, looks nice. But again, that wouldn't be my choice because it's a bit too big for me. Zentorno, yeah, definitely brilliant car this one. I place it right underneath the Turismo R in my hit parade of preferred cars in supercars in GTA. Brilliant. This one, what's that? Ah, the Infernus. Again, it was there in day one. Not unpleasant. I don't really like the look of it, but it's not bad. It's not Taipan. Very nice, but too big. And of course, the Banshee, treated by Benny's. Beautiful, great, but the driving is a little bit weird. Slides too much. Right, so these are my supercar collection for Nishune, my male character. Now let's go and have a look at the sport collection, sport cars collection, which is in Garage 2. So we start with the Akuma, which is slightly different from the one you can get. You see, it's got no mud guard on the front and no fairing. There is normally a little fairing above the lights. I took it off. Again, that was a glitch that lasted maybe 2 weeks. Time to time it comes back and you can do it again. But yeah, so that makes my Akuma a little bit white. Here is another car. I love the Carbonizzato Ferrari. I'm a fan of Ferrari and Porsche. So yeah, perfect. It's the right size for me. It's the engine sound is great. It handles beautifully. It drifts a little. It's light enough. It's perfect. Perfect. For me, that's the one I would buy if I had the money. The Verlierer, which means loser in German, which is strange. The back is really weird. It's like they forgot to put a bumper or something. I don't know. So the back is a little bit weird. I'm not too impressed by the handling. That's not a car I use very often. This one is nice, the 770. Really, really nice. Good handling. I might redo the paint of this one, I don't know. Something a little bit more shiny and contrasted, I don't know. It's a good car, yes, it deserves it. Well, this one was in the game since day one, the Cyrano, which I wouldn't really advise to race with. It's a good looking car, convertible. It's nice to drive, but boom, you got better ones in the game. And this one is the, this one I like, is the Monroe. I got this one at the same time as the Vaca. Vaca for the girl, Monroe for the guy. Brilliant. Again, it's not the most efficient car in the game, but it looks good, it handles pretty good. I like this one. Yeah. Right, so that was the first floor. Betty, but this time with a livery. The female character's got one without livery. It's playtime. Okay, a Porsche. That's the Comet Retro Custom. My favorite of all the Comets. Right, what's that? That's the... I forgot again. Massacro, of course, how can I forget the name? Massacro, which is one of the best sport car to race. Used to be, I don't know if it's still the case. I guess the Paria is far better now. But really nice. Good handling, great car. Okay, that's the Tempa Custom, I think. Drift Tempa. Looking good in that livery. Rasta car. Right, that's the, Hot Wings Saab. Frankly, I'm not impressed by this at all. But then that's really not the kind of racing I'm impressed by. To me, that's not racing. If you want racing, you go to Le Mans. 24 hours of Le Mans. Okay, here. These are for free, okay? Buffalo, and here the Dominator. They look okay, they look nice with the livery. Okay. Last floor, which must contain some classic, sport classic, I believe, starting with a classic bike. FCR 1000. How am I supposed to remember that name? But yeah, funny. Except for the seat, frankly. If it's a classic bike, then why does it have a seat like that? But no, that's the way it is. The main bar. So this one is the convertible version with the new livery given to us 3 days ago. Funny car, the Memba, but not very good handling. That is the GT500, Grotti GT500. Very classic looking, I love it. It's very beautiful. Coquette Classic with open roof. My female character got it too, but with the roof. So it's got the livery that was delivered to us 3 days ago too. I forgot this one, the Stinger, yeah, of course. Nice sound. I wouldn't say the same about the handling, but the sound is good and the look is great too. That is the Stinger again. Stinger GT and Stinger convertible. Which the back, I really like the back of this. This is so beautiful. Very nice. Right, and another Corvette, the Coquette Blackfin, which belongs to the muscle category, strangely. So that makes it one of the best muscle cars to race. But beware the handling, it's not that easy. Not as bad as those two, though. Those three. Or even the Memba. Right, so that was the sport garage. Now let's go to the muscle car garage. We start with an excellent bike, the Diabolus Custom. Really good one, this one. Very brutal, but very good, very efficient. This one forgot the name, the Nightshade. I like the look of it more than the handling, basically. It looks great, look at the front. Really nice. Looks like a jack front. Okay, here's the 10 pound, the normal one. It's a beauty too, it's really, really nice. And unlike the one that is armored, it is not too heavy. It has a good handle. Love the paint as well. Okay, so this is this one has really a story. Sabre Turbo. You know, you can get 2 Sabre Turbo that are customized by Rockstar in the LSC, in the central LSC in the car park. If you take that car, you will see the green one. You will see that the paint is satin, but it's got also another paint on the bottom, which is blue, I believe. Now, if you take this car to Benny's, then the green paint spreads to the entire car, which gives it really a unique look. And then on top of that, I put a livery from Benny's, a few little details like the inside, the driving wheel, the bobbin head door, and that's it. So this is a rather special Sabre Turbo. You won't see many of these. Okay, so what's that? Yeah, that's a Vigero. It's not very popular, but it's actually a pretty good muscle car. It's just that there are many good muscle cars, so this one doesn't pop up very often. It's nice. It's a nice car. This is my how do they call it? Romero hearse. Voilà. So, but this Romero hearse is special. You see, there is no flower. I forgot how I got this one, but again, that's probably a glitch at one point that allowed to get it with no flowers. So it's still a special Romero hearse. It used to be difficult to get the Romero hearse, but they spawned with flowers anyway. And then they made it for sale, so now it's not rare anymore. But this one still is. Right, so here is the Hayabusa, the long version, which again called me conservative, but I never understood why people do that to a bike. First, it looks ridiculous, and second, the handling is so bad. I mean, if you go straight all the time, maybe, but I don't think you can go straight all the time. Okay, here is another special Rockstar Tornado. It's kind of hard to find. Special paint, which you can bring to Benny, and it retains the special paint, but now you can put different things on it, like livery, etc. Very beautiful. I love this Bel Air. I mean, it's not convenient for countries like Europe or even Asia, but I guess for America it's perfect. And it's beautiful, it's really beautiful. This one is the, then I forgot again, the Voodoo. Right, so this is the Voodoo. Should I tell you, this is my 11th Voodoo. I have 10 more Voodoo, but I'll show you why. I'll show you later and I'll tell you why. This one is the original from Benin. This one, forgot the name, Faction Custom. Again, going at pennies. But not the donkey, the normal one. I like the livery too, it's pretty. This one is the Virgo Classic. Not that I drive it often, but I've got all the Bailey's vehicle, of course. Okay, here's the Duke. I think the livery, the paint, fits it quite good. And finally, the rat truck. But that's the rat truck you can buy, not the one you find. It's pretty like that. Dark metal is definitely good for some vehicles. Right, so these are all muscle cars. Now let's go to the last floor. And we find more classic vehicle, but this time hot rods. This is called what? Hot knife. Dark metal and gold. I think I used the glitch to remove some parts from the front, if I remember correctly. So I'm not sure you can get it to look like that, but yeah. This one, I really love this one, the Hustler. So again, you can remove more parts from the front, but I like it like that. It's perfect. Very good. Matches with the hot knife as well. Okay, here is something that was given to us for Halloween, the Frankenstrange. Looks very wild. Purple trim inside. Incredible noise. The engine shakes. It's a nice thing. Next to it, we've got Roosevelt Valor, but the newest version that comes with more customization. So my female character has the classic one, and my male character has the customizable one. There is some Virgo or something. Yeah, Virgo. Huge car, very heavy. That's when you want to do damage to other cars. You can take this. Good sound as well. The Duke, Duke of Death, which wasn't available in online mode for a long time. But definitely a great car. I prefer the Kuruma because the Kuruma is lighter, but this is just as good. And beautiful truck, this one, the Slam Van Custom. Of course, it went to Benny's to get all those customization. Beautiful thing, isn't it? Voila, so these are my muscle cars. So let's take one of them. Sorry, sir. Okay, so here we find a few van and SUV. This is my rarest car. This is the most unique vehicle I have in this game. It's a Speedo, a normal Speedo, but with a matte black, slight pearlescent gold and gold ring. This you cannot get in GTA Online normally. Very special. Right, here is Forgotten Name, the Moonbeam Custom. Yeah. I like this one. It used to be in my nightclub, but my nightclub has become a museum too, so I had to remove it to keep only museum pieces of museum in the nightclub. This is the Bowler LE, so this is the fastest SUV you can race. It's not armored, huh? The armored one is slower. This is the XLS armored. Pretty good car as well, very good SUV. Here we have one of the latest SUV, which is the Strata. Try it, really, I advise you to try it. You will be surprised by how fast and responsive this SUV is. In terms of look, I prefer this one, the Huntley S, which is also very good, very fast, but doesn't beat the Bowler LE anymore. It's really nice cars. Right, so here is my Kuruma. Both my characters have a Kuruma because that's really a must. So much fun, this car. And here is the Furore GT. Beautiful, but too big. Too big and too heavy for a good racing. Right, here is a classic bike. I mean, I call that classic bike, forgot the name. The Thrust, quite cheap actually, but looks alright. Looks a bit like a bike the French police would have, except it's not blue. And again, that's a bike that I have because of the KERS system. It's the Lectro, which you find in the Haste. So it's got a special boost to it. Not really very efficient, but it's not a bad bike at all. It's just not the most performing bike there is, but it's a good one. Voilà, my Hillcrest Garage. Now, let's go to the nightclub and I'll show you the museum he's got. So same nightclub as my female character because I really like the car park in front of it. You can land your choppers, you can put your nightclub truck, etc. I like this nightclub, so they both have the same, but with different DJs and different decoration inside. His is called Gefängnis, which means jail in German, and it's decorated like a jail. But bon, I'll show you the vehicle today, I'm not going to show you the nightclub itself. Here is another special vehicle by Rockstar. the Maniana, you see the color is quite special. It spawns in the gang areas, but much more rarely than the one you saw belonging to my female character. So nice little Maniana. Let's go to the basement one. So same as my female character, my male character has got only the truck and the van. I didn't buy the Mule because that's an annoying vehicle. Look at that, this is such a beauty. And then the truck. Yeah, those two vehicles are really beautiful, really good. Let's go to see the museum itself, because that's not part of the museum, that's just part of the nightclub. So you saw the Maniana upstairs at the entrance of the nightclub. It serves as a shop window item. And now we're getting into the first floor of the museum, which contains kind of rare vehicle without being too hard to get, of course. Most of them can be found in the LSC, in the central LSC in the car park. If you simply cruise around with a car of the same kind, then you should see them spawn. So there is a gauntlet, you see, in the kind of bluish purple and red. I've got the Phoenix in very nice brownish color. All those colors are made by Rockstar. I didn't touch anything. Even the rims are original. The only thing that changed is the power of the engine, the brakes, transmission, stuff that are not visual. I kept the car exactly as it spawned. Here is the same car as you saw in my office garage, but this time with two colors. So you see, it spawns like that, blue and green. If you take it to Benny, it becomes only green. So the way you saw it in my office garage. But that's the original one. Very beautiful, very nice. And the other Sabre Turbo that you can find in the LSC car park is this one, white and blue. Also very beautiful. So you can double check by going inside the LSC and you will see that the colors are simply not available. If you change the color, you cannot go back to that. So keep it the way you find it. Quite difficult to find, depends the people. It's this green one, green Buccaneer. I found the blue one much easier to get, but they both have this kind of very special paint, satin paint. So you could take both of them, since Buccaneers are treated by Benny's, you can take both of them to Benny's. This one will become entirely green, the green of the top of the car. And this one will become entirely blue, the blue of the top of the car. Because you see the bottom is a little bit more shiny than the top. Right, so Ruiner. So again, two kinds of Ruiner. You cannot take them to Benny's anyway, those ones, so they have to stay that way. I wouldn't say that this is my favorite paint, but it's kind of interesting. This one is much more my kind of paint. The B color. Very nice. Right, and the Dominators. Two Dominators as well. A blue and a yellow and blue. So you recognize the same kind of special paint that we found on the Buffalo, the Rockstar's Buffalo. That's the same kind of yellow you can find. Voilà, so not too hard to get, but still requires patience. Cruise around the LSC car park with cars of the same kind, and after 2, 3, 4 rounds, you should be able to find one. especially after 10 o'clock in the morning. It's more difficult to get them at night, but it happens. Let's go to basement 3. Why did I press 4? Never mind. Remind me to go to 3. Here is my tornado garage. So 10 tornadoes. All of them are rather unique, rather rare. You see, from here you have 8 tornadoes that come from worn tornadoes. There are 8 different tints, 8 different colors of worn tornadoes. You get the 8 of them. Frankly, I advise you to put them in your garage because the difference is very tiny. So if you don't keep them worn in your garage, you might end up with doubles. You see, for example, even changed, this green one and this brown one can look pretty much similar from far away. So the worn version is even more difficult to distinguish. And then you take them to Beni. Once you have the 8 of them, take them to Beni, just do the conversion, and you'll get this nice satin look to it. And then you've got the special tornado that spawn in the gang areas. This one, you've seen it already in my office garage. I kept the paint, but that's the original one, the way it spawns. You can take it to Beni, as I did for the one in the office garage, but then the roof will become black, like the other ones. But you can still change the color of it at Beni, so it doesn't really matter. But that's the original one, the way it spawns. So try to find this one. If you see it, anyway, grab it because it's rather a unique car. And here is probably the one that took me the longest to find. It took me about a week in real time, cruising in the gang areas again and again and again. Oh my God, hundreds of times, until finally one day it appeared. Well, very special blue, made by Rockstar. This car is really, was for me, difficult to get. So I kept it also in the same look as it spawned. You can also take it to Beni, but then it will lose the roof to get a black roof like the other 8. But it will retain the color of the body if you don't change it. If you change it, you cannot go back to it. Voilà. Okay, so and finally, let's go to the last floor of the museum, which is 3. And this is my voodoo garage. And this time, all of them are worn voodoos that spawn in Sandy Shore. At least 8 of them. You see, I'm going to show you which one. Voilà, those 8 you can find solo in Sandy Shore if you're very patient. It takes really a long time to get them all. And again, I advise you to put them in your garage worn, in the worn state, so that you can differentiate them and avoid to have doubles. For example, the light blue one and the white are quite easy to mix up. Now, the 2 last ones, those 2, are really rare. You never see them spawn unless you know the trick. Before Sandy Shore, you will find a house. If you travel with a voodoo, you will find a house with a garage in which there is a voodoo. Get a friend, grab the voodoo, go a little bit further away, tell your friend to watch the voodoo, go back to that house, another voodoo will spawn. Do that 10 times, and you will see that the 2 last cars that spawn are actually this one and this one. So these 2 cars will not spawn anywhere unless you do what I just told you. Go to the voodoo house with a friend. Your friend watches those 8 voodoos as you take them to him, and then after you got those 8, go back to the house and you will find this one. Take it to your friend, then go back, get this one. Voilà. Finally, get your friend to jump into this one, jump into this one, drive them to your garage, and that's it. You finally have the 10 of them most people think there are only 8 worn tornadoes. That there is only 8 worn voodoos, like there are only 8 worn tornadoes. No, there are 10 worn voodoos. Those 2 are just never spawning anywhere unless you do the thing I told you to do. Voilà, so those 2 are really rare. The 8 others a little bit less. Voilà, so that is the museum. I take you just quickly to the last floor so that you can see the truck, the Terrorbite. Voilà, golden black. Quite a beauty already. Beautiful truck. It's got the Oppressor MK2 inside. As you can see here. I didn't put the livery on this one, I kept it black and gold like the truck. I don't know why they put things that blocks your way everywhere. I would like to do that in Rockstar, don't they? Is it just me, or are the PNG particularly annoying these days? They drive like complete morons. Here is my rusty garage. So everything is rusty here, except one because I needed the space. The Albany Hermes. Another tornado. You're gonna say I have a lot of tornadoes here, but I like it, so it's good. But this one is really funny. I really like this one too. What's the name of that? Fagaloa. I wish Rockstar would give us rims that actually match with the rusty look, but no. See, every time the rim is brand new. Yosemite, beware of the dog. Here is the rat loader. I'm gonna say the rat loader is nothing really special, but this one has got nothing on the back. And that's a glitch you can do. It's just make a search for it. You're gonna see it's very simple to do. I like it without nothing behind because you can see the axle of the wheel moving, and it's really pleasant to see the mechanic of it. So yeah, I like this one. I kept the original color, which already was rusted, so it's fine. Okay, so here is the unrusted vehicle. You're gonna say, why do I have this one? Mostly for the back. I really like the setup on the back with the speakers and everything. So I decided to keep it. Doesn't look bad either, it's all right. Cavalcade. There are two Cavalcade. Only one has speakers in the back. This one is also quite rare. It's the Canis body with the teddy bear in the front. And I hate your plate number. So definitely Trevor's car. I kept it as a souvenir of Trevor. Here is another Rebel, Carolyn Rebel, which been kitted for the Badger, I think. Or maybe the Paris-Dakar, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it looks cool. Looks cool. Okay. Here is, how do you call this one? The injection. The injection the look is made by Rockstar. Each of the rusted vehicle has actually a Rockstar paint to it. So if you change it, then you cannot go back to it. So I kept mine the way Rockstar made it, which is pretty good actually, this one. And then one of my favorite bikes, it looks like nothing, is the Sanchez. It's the original Sanchez from day one in the game, except for the tire. You see, it's quite rare to make the Sanchez look like a super motard. So that's why I really like it. And it's really cool with this kind of tire. I like super motard bikes, so yeah. There, voila, so that's my rusted garage, except for one vehicle over there that is not really rusted. Let's go next door.